session is the Learning and Development Roundtable on Future-Proofing the Workforce, Upskilling and Reskilling Strategies. Moderating the session is Dr. Naganagowda SJ, CPO, Tally Solutions. Our esteemed panelists are Ms. Deepa J, Senior Director and Head Talent Acquisition, Valtech India. Ms. Urvashi Verma, Head TA, APAC, Expiry Inc. Dr. Augustus Azaria, Regional HR Director, APMEA Region, Kindle. Dr. Nagasiddharth, Urban Piper, CHRO. Mr. Indakumar R, Senior Associate Director, KPMG. Dr. Naganagowda SJ. With over 2 decades of expertise, he has championed sustainable HR ecosystems globally, steering organizational change and fostering multicultural talent. Deepa J, currently at Valtech, a London headquartered MNC working in digital innovative transformation. Previously worked in IT hiring for IBM and Wipro. Urvashi Verma, with a mission to hire tech enthusiasts, she has built great teams over 15 years, excels in strategic, cost-effective sourcing techniques.
Our next speaker is Ms. Dr. Augustus Azaria, Regional HR Director, APMEA, Middle East and Asia Pacific Region, Kindle. And with over 25 years of experience leading in the employee and labor function for Asia Pacific Middle East area region, he aligns diverse individual aspirations and corporate strategies. The next is Dr. Nagasiddharth. He Urban Piper CHRO, a seasoned CHRO with over 2 decades of experience driving transformative people and cultural initiatives across diverse industries. And Mr. Indradu is present here, but he will not be joining us as a panelist because of some technical specification he told. So we'll go ahead with the session.
I would also request Captain Ranjit to please join the panel representing our cohort. Thank you.
Welcome, Captain. Thank you. Good afternoon. Namaskara. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I know after Rasmalai, Gajar ka halwa, and a lovely lunch. Is everybody awake? Yes. I doubt. There are 2 kinds of people in the universe. One, who are awake with their eyes wide open. Others is a deadly category. They are sleeping with their eyes wide open. The question is, whom do you belong to? I think third one. Oh, there is somebody with a brain fully open. There's one more. Oh, we have quite a possibility, potential is there. So some questions. If all of you are given an opportunity to reinvent a new country, how many of you will get except our, one person has done recently. He has, wow, he has created Kailasha. If you were to create a country, what would you name it? And where will you create it? Anybody? If you were to create a country, what would you name it? It's already there. Huh? Happy Land. Oh, that's a nice one. Can we applaud her? After lunch, Happy Land. No, you should clap loudly. You know why? Clap again. Can you see loudly? Can you? Both hands loudly. Now I will tell you what will happen. Now it's got activated, got connected with the brain, right? I think the whole idea of this Rasmalai will sink in now, and then you will be awake. Another question before we dive into our subject, which is about learning. You all have seen the latest movie Kalki, right? Kalki, right? How many have driven Bujji? Bujji you have seen? 6-ton vehicle, each tire weighing about 250 kgs. In 2050, what will be the best mode of transportation? That is very near. I am asking 2050. Best mode of transportation. Matrix. And time travel. Time travel. I am here. I want to go to a movie wherever it is running and I will go there. Possible? With technology disruption that we are witnessing today, everything is possible. You agree or not? Okay. Now some statistics for you. By 2030, the world will undergo a huge transformation. And some great HRs like my colleagues who are sitting in this room, there is a great research done. And we figured out by 2030, 85% of the jobs that exist in 2030, we do not know the job descriptions. Are you with me? Lunch should digest soon. Right? Second, the technology change. When I entered industry, maybe me and Praveen, we both at the same time we entered, technology was changing once in 3 years. And many of us belong to my generation in this room. I'm not making all of you old, I'm saying I'm young. Okay, so the point is, now technology changing every 3 weeks. What will you learn? How will you learn? How will you stay in touch with pace of change that is happening? In this context, our leaders who are assembled here to discuss about upskilling, reskilling, or whatever skilling you want to do, you should be able to keep yourself abreast with everything that's happening. So I have set of questions. Can we change the format in the interest of post-lunch session? You should never have a session before lunch or after lunch. I don't know who has planted Nagan's session after lunch actually. I will talk to them later. Few statements. What brought you here won't take you there. We all understand? Wherever we want to go, with whatever you have, you will not be able to go where you want to go. Right? So your past success does not guarantee of your future success. Okay, whatever I did as of yesterday is history. What I am doing today is mystery. What I will do in the future, we will have an opportunity to create a new history. Right? Super. So, there are very few questions, my friends. We have planted the questions and I have actually scrambled all the questions. Please pardon me for that. Now to start with, I have my good friend Dr. Nag Siddharth. He calls himself as Dr. Sidhu. Okay, but we both come from same name, Nagan Gowda and Nag. So to break that thing, Sid, please help us. Have you worked with defense personals in your life? Question number 1. How have you helped them to transition into civil life? Any examples you can share? And what are the critical skills that our armed forces would require to transition into civil life?
He said one question.
Because in the interest of time, I'm clubbing all the questions.
Hello, thank you. Organizers and senior professionals here. I'm not going to differentiate between industry and armed forces. I think we're all professionals and we are here helping the country in one way or the other in the economy. My name is Dr. Siddharth and I'll take a little time.
Sure.
You asked me 4 questions.
Yeah.
So, in addition to doing whatever else the lady and the gentleman introducing us said, I think after 20 years I was also looking at transitioning to the other side. Okay, but they wouldn't have any of it. So I joined the traffic warden. So I'm a part of the Bangalore Traffic Police, and that's kind of given me a few insights on how a uniformed service. So I'll try to synthesize my learnings across both and share. I think one of the things is I also spoke to a few ex-Defense Army officers and Air Force officers who have made the transition very well. So I want to bring those learnings here, even if they are not here. I think there are 4 basic points that I'll share. I've been extremely fortunate to be able to have worked with many defense officers and men, right? The defense officers know what I say when I say men, right? So, and I tried to put all of it into a small little abbreviation. We'll come to that very quickly. The first is, I think the first shock that probably hits a lot of us who are going to transition is this entire thing around rank and hierarchy, right? And to all those leaders, who are business leaders today who've been over there, they said the first thing that hit me was rank and hierarchy, because when I share my rank with anyone, they exactly know where I am, where they are. If I tell them, they listen or I listen, okay? Now, none of that happened to him in his first job, right? The second is ways of working. You can call it wow. Sometimes it's not wow, it's ouch, right? So, especially when someone's writing an email, I mean, when you requested someone to get something done and your team member is giving you a blank look, and then probably it's one of those companies where, you know, she says, this kid out of college, 2 years experience, you go back and ask why something wasn't done, and she says, you didn't send me an email, right? So the next time you send an email and you didn't mark her boss on it, right? So 1 week nothing's happened because you didn't know the ways of working. So the wow becomes an ouch. So I think these are the softer aspects of how, you can prepare yourself for the challenge. And coming to the core of my response now, one of the inputs into the armed forces is the NCC, right? Most of us know, some of us don't. If you know, you know. The NCC is the abbreviation that I'm borrowing right now for what could help our veteran friend. The first N is network, and by network I mean the following. I mean someone knows you, someone remembers you, someone knows the work that you do, and someone wants to work with you. So how do you build this experience centers in the larger landscape of the corporates? If you can build this out either with institute collaboration or with initiatives, even if you want to run some LinkedIn events and so on, I think the N of the NCC is that. The C is the context. I think we have senior officers here who can do a fair bit of advocacy. If I were to look at any US-based organization that's recruiting, there's this big thing around, are you a veteran? Which means there is specific focus on it. And as HR professionals, I think to all of us also on and off the stage, I think if we can have a fair deal of advocacy with the government and so on to bring in some level of veteran status that pulls something during the hiring process, I think that's the second one. Sponsored career mobility, again coming in with the networking piece, is often the problem is someone's managed a large unit, a large center, and when it comes to the resume, I don't know what it means, right? I've been in this profession for 20 years, and I'm immediately pinging all the ex-defense pilots who I've worked with, etc., to make sense of this. So if there's a way of translating the good work that has been done into civilian, you need hacks. You need hacks, right? So what are these hacks and how am I going to translate these? This is the next point. Also, please look at workforce intense industries. Don't look at IT services, right? You have retail, you have real estate, you have hospitals, manufacturing, BPOs. Agri-tech is coming up in a very large way in India. Agri-tech and logistics. Yeah. And my last point is the third C of the NCC. The second C of the NCC is translate your core into a language that others can understand. It could be socializing. One of my friends did their FPM program from IAMB 10 years ago. It was around organization socialization. How do you socialize what you've done so that people on this side who are looking at resumes actually understand with the same meaning the stuff that you've done, right? Over lunch, I was talking to one of our colleagues, and she was saying someone told her, gave her a word that was around greenfield, right? Some of these jargons are there, and the person was like, what greenfield, right? I only know battlefield, right? So, you just need to pick this up, and it'll be great if someone can probably put together a compendium of such terms and help people out. I think again, I'm done almost. One big deal which is actually impacting job seekers everywhere today is the tyranny of the ATS, right? I think we've not had enough regulation in place. ATSs are going berserk with their own models and AI. We have no clue how they are ranking resumes. In fact, I've been on investor boards to evaluate ATSs for investment. And when I ask the founders who know, they tell you, there's a PDF document that you will get. And then the first word I look at is leadership 45%. I said, what do you mean by leadership? Right? Because anyone in behavioral sciences will run away from the place if someone says leadership 45%, because till today leadership hasn't been defined. Right? There are n number of models there. I mean, and how fair is it to a well-meaning person if a resume is using AI, unknown model, and then the person gets a job or not. So I think we need a lot more regulation there, and that's kind of going to help. So while that's not going to, probably not going to happen very quickly, the regulation on AI, I think what we can do, which is in a controllable, is start networking, have those personal connects, have people come here, speak to you, go out there, see if you can figure out some kind of an internship, plateau your career a little for a year or two, pick up those skills and then take off again. Thank you.